Namaste. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today, I have a very special guest with me for Maitri. I'm extremely honored and humbled that ma'am has accepted my invitation and she's here to talk to all of us. This is Anuja ma'am. Anuja ma'am has been an inspiration for all of us. She has 12 years of experience in academics and has been involved in coaching students for competitive exams. Also, she is a chemical engineer, and ma'am has done her MBA from a premier business school. So, ma'am has worked in IT and pharma sector before taking up academics as her career. And her strength lies in treating each student individually, that we have seen personally. And also, she has touched many lives, like more than 1,000 students with her right now. And ma'am is a person whom everybody adore and want to be like her. I have heard children say that I want to be Anuja ma'am. That's how it is. And ma'am has sees an inspiration, and she finds an inspiration in Sachin Tendulkar. I mean, I didn't know that, ma'am. Oh, you're a cricket fan. Okay.
Yes, I am.
Oh,
I am.
nice.
So I was a fan of Sachin Tendulkar.
Okay, wow, that's new to me. Yeah. So Anuja ma'am heads the coaching institute concepts group tuitions, which is extremely committed to bring out each and every student blossom in their beautiful colors outside, and also to support and to endure the fact that every child is special and they all have their strengths and weaknesses, and ma'am and her team is here to support them throughout. So Anuja ma'am, tell me one thing, the most important question many of them want to ask you today is, how has 2020 treated you as a teacher, and how did students take this whole thing up of online teaching because of the corona?
Firstly, ma'am, thank you for such a wonderful introduction. I'm humbled, genuinely.
Thank you,
I've never
ma'am.
heard such good things about myself. So thank you so much. To begin with, ma'am, 2020 in the beginning, very honestly, I started online pretty early.
Okay.
We didn't waste much time. So we started in March itself with online classes.
Yes.
Initially, it was very difficult because it was online for the first time. I mean, I was also going online for the first time.
Yes.
I had no prior experience of online teaching. So the camera angle, the board angle,
Yes, I know.
width of the alphabets, there's so many things that you had to take into consideration.
Yes.
That was from my side. But and the most important thing was the human touch, which was missing.
True. That's so true.
I could see what my kids were writing. I couldn't see how much their body language in the beginning.
Correct.
I couldn't read it through the camera. It took some time. But from the students' perspective, they found it very difficult in the first 2-3 months.
True.
They found it very boring.
Okay.
They found it very, very boring because they couldn't interact with their friends sitting around them.
Yes.
So in the beginning, it was pretty lonely for them. But I think by the time it was June, July, I think they got used to it.
Yes.
Because I think it was very important from a teacher's perspective that I understood the technical glitches that would come. I understood that they will want to butt in at any point in time, just like they would do in a class. So I made sure that I give them that environment, that they can keep their camera switched on. It doesn't matter who is around them.
Correct.
They keep their mics unmuted. It doesn't matter if their pet is shouting around them.
Yes.
So I think that the fact that if you make that environment human, they'll adapt to it faster. And today, I believe they are more comfortable than I am.
Yes, I can see that this big shift for them from offline to online. Yes, students have taken it up very well. I mean, of course, with your support, with your guidance, teachers like you. When you said human touch, how is it very important as a teacher? I mean, personally, I remember one of my favorite teachers. I cannot forget the fact that, I have a person, I was, guided by a person at that young age, and that stayed with me. It stays with me. It stays with the student forever. How important is that human touch when you say it's important?
It is quite a bit, ma'am. As a teacher, I believe it is quite a bit.
Okay.
So, in physical classes, offline classes, whatever term you want to give it today,
Yes.
those terms have come today. Otherwise, we would just call it classes.
Yes.
So, that knock on the head,
True.
that making
Yes.
that person right, that occasional hug when a student
I
is
know.
down,
Yes.
putting a hand on the shoulder while the student is not getting a particular question repeatedly.
True.
So all of that, I believe, was missing. Now, again, as I said, how you can make it up is talking to them on a call after a class.
Okay.
Connecting with them on WhatsApp. If they are very down, asking them to stay back after the class, having a one-to-one chat.
Correct.
Having a chat with them personally on the personal window.
Yes.
I mean, that's how you can make it up.
I know. Yes.
It still doesn't make up for the human touch.
I know.
But I believe to some extent it would cover up the human touch that is missing. I think human touch, all of us are missing everywhere.
Yes, 100%. Yes, that's true. Yes. One more thing, ma'am. When parents call you, of course, as a parent, we are so confused about the path the student takes, because we have our own expectations as parents, and children have their own expectations. When they call you, it is like kind of, putting their view in you so that you can motivate the child in that direction. How right is that?
Ma'am, I consider myself to be the bridge between the parent and the child, to be very honest.
Yes.
So there are a lot of times when the kids do not understand the expectations, and a lot of cases where the parents do not understand that the child wants to do something different. So they see it's not wrong. They see their aspirations through their kids.
Exactly.
But time has changed. The kids have their own aspirations. They do not want their aspirations to be suppressed. So there are times when I have to, walk that tightrope.
Yes.
And try
and you do it pretty well. Yes. So we say, okay, Anuja ma'am is there. So we don't have to think twice.
So I have to maintain that tightrope and try and tell the parents and the kids alike. Because, see, as a teacher, I would know the strengths of the child. So in case I feel that the parent is correct in thinking that the child can do this and the child is confused, then I try and convince the child.
Correct.
On the other hand, if I strongly believe that the child is going correct in his or her aspirations and doesn't want to do what the parent is suggesting, then I try and convince the parents. So it's not as if I take a particular side. It's just that I try and assess it, as I said, individually based on each child.
Yes.
And then I try and convince the parents or the child.
Yes. Ma'am, every child, who is with you treats you like a friend, a guide, a teacher, maybe a parent also. They're so close to you, they would talk to you anything. How do you manage to keep that bond?
Ma'am, because possibly I look at them as my friends.
Okay.
They are my friends.
Yes.
So that's how I take them with me. I don't think there are very few cases where I've tried to assert myself with them. That, you have to do this.
True.
Then, see, I believe, ma'am, times have changed. And if you explain the logic to the kids, they understand, they accept, and then they try and follow you or follow the path that you are showing them. Not literally me, but the path that I'm trying to show them.
Correct.
So, honestly, I look at them as my friends. I don't look at them as my students.
Wow, that's so nice to hear, ma'am.
That's how the bond develops.
Correct. Ma'am, certain students, certain situations, they have to accept a failure. To say they would expect a 95%, but then they come back to you as 85 or 90 maybe. But how do you counsel them? How do you counsel the parents and the students, mainly the students, as to, yes, this is a phase wherein you'll have to work hard and make sure you reach your goal in the next exam, in the next test, before they lose out on hope that, okay, this is what I'm capable of.
Ma'am, I have always told them one thing, and this I think that the inputs matter. Output will follow, whether it follows today, whether it follows in the next exam or a year later. It's the input that matters. It's the hard work that you put in. If they fail in the sense that they do not reach their goal of 90%, of 95%, it's a collective failure of the student and me. It's a collective failure. So we need to accept that, and that's what I tell them, that we need to work harder for the next exam. We need to make sure that maybe we've gone wrong somewhere in the input. We need to tweak that. Maybe put in more hours, maybe work smarter. We have to try and see where we can tweak our inputs so that the output follows. If we, concentrate on the output and do not change the way we are putting in our efforts, nothing is going to change.
True. Yes.
So to make the output change, the input has to change. And that's what I've always told them. It's the input that matters. For me, the efforts matter. The results will follow, but I am not going to judge you on your results. I'm going to judge you on your efforts.
True. Very well said.
Efforts, I am happy with them. So that's my goal with them.
So true. Now, there is a concept in the new age parenting as to let the child be himself or herself. Do not pressurize or do not push them in an area where they have to be disciplined and they have to achieve their goal. I don't resonate with this concept myself, but I do have friends who say it's okay, they can do what they want after a certain age. It's okay, they will figure out how to get back on track when the time is right. They are free to do. We have to give them the freedom. So how much freedom is freedom? When we talk about teenage children, you deal with them day in and day out. How do you bridge that whole thing of freedom and discipline?
Ma'am, this is so I've seen parents, the entire spectrum. Parents who are extremely strict.
Correct.
Parents who are extremely liberal.
True.
And somewhere I believe I have seen kids do best when they are given a freedom in a defined environment, within defined rules. So there is this concept of defined freedom for teenagers these days.
Yes.
So wherein the parents tell them that these are the restrictions that we are putting, and within these restrictions, you are free to do whatever you wish to.
Well said, ma'am. Yes. So you give a framework as to the choices are limited in that sense.
Correct. So honestly, if you give them the kids these days, they say, why should we study? Why should we do 10?
Yes.
We don't need it.
Yes.
No. So they would understand that you need that basic. You might not enjoy academics today.
Yes.
But you need that basic education to be able to do something even in your career of your choice. Maybe in music, dance. You need your basic education.
Yes.
So as I said, which is why parents need to define that framework within which they are free to do whatever they wish to.
Correct. Yes.
But without that framework, I believe they just fly haywire and land nowhere.
And also they have validations as to say, have you seen Elon Musk or have you seen Steve Jobs? They are college dropouts, but they are Harvard dropouts. So yes, so they have this validation to do. So you well explained, ma'am, how freedom and discipline can be put in a framework. That's a good point to be made. Now, ma'am, what are your interests apart from teaching?
Very honestly, ma'am, I hardly get time. I'll be very, very honest.
Yes.
But if given and whenever I get time, in fact, a lot of times while making the test papers or while checking, generally sports is on my television. So I watch a lot of cricket. Wow. I watch a lot of tennis.
Oh, good.
And during the summer break, which I don't get a summer break, but when the kids have, so apart from the senior grades, I don't have the other classes. So that's the time when I try picking up a novel, I try picking up books. I was an avid reader before I got so involved that I hardly get some time. But yes, so basically these are my interests. But yeah, nowadays cricket and sports hasn't left me. Cricket and tennis hasn't left me.
Wow. So coming back to Sachin Tendulkar, what do you see in Sachin sir? I mean, what inspires you?
A lot of hard work.
Okay.
A lot of hard work. And I
Yes.
think I draw my inspiration from there.
Okay.
Lot of comes from a humble background and a lot of determination and hard work.
Yes.
So talent could be there, but it doesn't come easy for anyone.
True.
So that's what I tell the kids. You might have the intellect. You could be a lot more intelligent than a lot of others in your friends. But it's the hard work that matters. True. It's the amount of effort that you put, the focused effort that you put that matters. And I think that comes from the inspiration I drew in my teenage years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah, and that stuck with me. Stuck with me, that without that, those number of hours, without putting in that hard work, nothing comes easy in life.
So true, so true. So your favorite subject is chemistry?
Yeah.
Okay,
chemistry.
That's one subject, or science is one subject which most of us as commerce graduate, we find it so seriously, like a rocket science itself. So it's difficult for certain people to understand that, it requires an amount of hard work, also interest, passion.
Ask me, you tell me about accounts today, I'll be equally stumped. So I think all of us have strengths.
Balance, I know. Yeah. Yes. So do you like traveling, ma'am? And how do you unwind after a tiring day?
Okay. So I'm sure you are aware, I have my furry child.
Of course, Ginger.
I have that.
Yes.
So spending time with her obviously helps me unwind.
Okay.
And I spend a lot of time in the morning, nights, whenever I get time, whatever be the free time I spend with her. Yes, pre-COVID times, we used to travel, and I used to travel twice a year. And so yes, obviously all of us enjoy traveling. I am a beach person. I love going to beaches.
Wow.
And nice. Yes, the other way I unwind are my parents. So I speak a lot to my parents. They are my lifeline. So I speak a lot to my parents.
Yes.
That helps me unwind.
Wow. That's nice to hear, ma'am. Coming back to concepts tutorials, what is the one thing that anybody who want to start new or start a coaching center, because yours is a successful one, people seek out for your tutorials as such, what is the points, or what are the techniques? I mean, if you can share a few to people who are starting new, what would that be?
Ma'am, honestly, I believe it's not as if there's any success mantra or something. I just strongly believe that whichever be the field, whether it's whatever new that you are starting, first and foremost, I think your heart should lie there. If your heart lies in there, you're going to put in everything that you have in there.
Yes.
Secondly, you need to know the path that you're going to take, the road that you're going to take. It has to be planned. It cannot be haphazard.
Okay.
Third, I believe, especially the field that I am in, so I consider teaching academics, you cannot consider it to be just a business. You cannot.
Correct.
It is a field wherein you're shaping lives. You got to strongly believe in that.
True.
Only if you believe in that does everything follow. So your first thing is your connection with your students. First thing.
Yes.
After that, how you take up their academics and how you shape and how many tests they take and what is the way you teach them. Honestly, that comes later. Yes. It's the connection that you need to have with them in the beginning, because once that happens, once you're able to establish that, they listen to you. They listen to what you have to offer. And they put in their thoughts on the table.
Yes.
So I'll be very honest, ma'am. I don't think, see, a lot of kids they have their strengths and their weaknesses. It's just that they don't put it out on the table for someone to target their weakness and help them overcome it.
Yes. Yes.
So the first step is to make them accept their weakness.
Okay.
So I believe that anyone who's starting new in this field,
yes,
as a teacher, needs to first have a connection with his or her students.
Wow.
That's the most important thing.
True. I think that's the one thing which lasts longer. Yes.
And
Ma'am, you
that's the
said
one makes you, that gives you a satisfaction at the end of the day, because even if a small improvement in a student's performance, whether personal or professional, goes a long way in helping you feel satisfied about your profession.
Correct. Correct. Ma'am, you told about planning and strategizing. How do you actually plan your schedule, your day? How do you actually plan it for the whole year? I have seen you plan. I know that is, I mean, commendable. As to when I talk to certain people, certain coaching centers, they're like, okay, we have this plan, but we will make sure that it is accomplished, but we can't guarantee you anything. But I've seen you, being so committed, and you plan every small detail. Is that extremely important, ma'am, in your profession?
I think so, ma'am. And I think that's how I'm a little bit as a person. So I think that comes to my work as well.
Okay.
So I think there are phases in planning. It's the beginning of the year that you need to plan, where you need to plan your schedule, the schedule for the students, as in the various groups.
Yes.
And I try and keep their personal schedules also in picture. So a lot of kids, someone has dance class, someone has music class, someone has French class. So if I try and accommodate that, I think during the year when I need their support in trying to reschedule their class, sometimes they support me as well. So I think that works best for us. So in the beginning, I believe you need to manage their schedule.
Correct.
And then during the course of the year, I think then it's a very monthly thing. How do you manage their tests? How do you manage their mocks at the end of the year?
Yes.
How do you do all of that? I think first it's the yearly plan in the beginning of the year that's important, and then it's a monthly plan. So yeah, it isn't that difficult, ma'am, honestly.
Yes, I think you're used to that, so it's in you to plan and strategize. Yes. What are the very important techniques that a parent can use while counseling the child?
Listening.
Correct.
First and foremost, listen before you enforce your thoughts, your ideas. Let them speak.
Correct.
And because even today, ma'am, I'll be honest, I come across a lot of students. I do not want to name. Yesterday, there was a call where a student of 10th grade, some school, was saying that he or she does not want to take up a particular course, but has been being pushed to take up that course. So first and foremost, listen, whether it's their personal problems or their professional problems.
Correct.
Once you listen, then you can give your advice and try making them take your advice. Right? Yes. Before listening, if we enforce our advice, they feel that we are closed and we are guarded. So that the guard around us needs to break for them to open their feelings to us.
Yes.
So listen, give your advice, see if they are ready to take it, and then make a plan accordingly. Don't just give an advice and leave it there. Correct. Make a plan with them. Make a short-term and a long-term plan with them as to how do they plan to take up that advice.
Correct. Correct. Yes. Very important points. Yes.
Ma'am, a lot of students, they know that where they're going wrong. They don't know how to.
Exactly. They don't know how to get over that. Yes. Ma'am, what inspired you and what made you like a subject like chemistry so much? It's your life, and children, you tell them, yeah, we can have a new compound invented by Anuja ma'am. She's so good in chemistry. Yeah.
I swear by it. Yeah. Okay. So, ma'am, I think my initial I started liking it because of my school teacher.
Oh yes.
My class teacher in 10th was a chemistry teacher, and she was very strict, very, very strict.
Okay.
So, but she was amazing at the subject. Like she is the guru of chemistry. So basically, she is who inspired me to like the subject. She was very strict, but I enjoyed her teaching very much, very, very much. So that's how possibly I got inclined towards the subject. And I started reading more. I just didn't stick to the textbook. I started reading reference books.
Correct.
A lot of things, and that's what attracted me to the subject. So it was my school teacher who inspired me, basically, and she continues to be my inspiration in chemistry.
I've read this quote, ma'am. It's the teacher that makes a difference, not the classroom. And also, the best teacher teaches from the heart, not from the book. Yeah, I think we can see that in you as well. Ma'am, one more thing. I mean, I adore you. You know, you're always smiling, even at 11 p.m. in the night when you go for a walk. I've seen you, you know, whenever you see, you're so grounded, you're so smiling, you're happy, with so much of, you know, such a busy schedule and so much on your shoulders, more than parents,
I think. That gives me happiness. Work gives me happiness. Yes. So very honestly, work gives me a lot of happiness.
I think that's your passion.
Yeah. So it's not as if I don't have my moments where I am tired and I just
irritated.
In fact, this year quite a bit. This year it's been quite a bit.
Yes.
I really don't go out. I haven't really gone out. So this year it's been too much. But what happens in me inspires me. That smile that I see.
I know. I mean, it radiates so much. There's so much positivity. You know,
that one day makes it's 2 days when the 12th and 10th results come, or when someone gets to a great college or a law school or the medical school or something. That is, I wait for that.
I think that's the biggest gift.
I am ready to work for 12 months for that.
Wow. It's such a message for all the teachers. Seriously, ma'am, I'm so happy that you came for this interview.
I am honored, ma'am. Thank you.
Me too, ma'am. Thank you so much for taking time out. Also, this interview has gotten pitched in, you know, a lot of pointers, gotten a lot of techniques for teachers and for parents. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming in today.
Thank you, ma'am. I am honored. Genuinely honored. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.